All right, I'm here. I'm with Brian Welch from Love and Death. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Like I was telling you a second ago, I am in Morro Bay, California, at the beach, so good things happening.
Nice. Lucky.
Yeah.
I would love to be at a beach right now.
Well, you keep dreaming. Just watch your Lakers. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I don't know. Watching the Lakers, I might not be all right.
Yeah, true that.
Man, first off, man, how was your New Year's? I know you were out here on New Year's Eve playing a show in Bloomington. How was the show, and I guess how's the family?
Oh, it's so good, man. It was. I go to Bakersfield, California every Christmas, the holiday season, and it was cool. We do the same thing. We go to my aunt and uncle's house, but it was awesome, man. And 2013 is going to be wild and crazy, never boring for me. So I'm looking forward to it. Just doing a little resting right now before craziness happens.
Yeah, I mean we're on the verge of probably just insanity for yourself and the band. First major label release for Love and Death coming up on the 22nd between Here and Lost. First off, how amped are you guys to finally get this album out?
Oh man, for my band members especially, it's like they're really stoked because they were a big part of the album, and it's their first full-length album of their own band. And there's a lot of touring opportunities opening up, so it's like everyone is just on cloud nine. We're hoping that we can make some more finances this year than last year, because that's the only difficult part for the band. It's just it doesn't bring in a lot of money to survive on right now, but we're hoping that's going to grow this year. And so yeah, everyone's totally stoked though.
Awesome. What's the experience of the move to Tooth and Nail been like for you guys?
It's been cool. They, we were talking to like 3 labels before we signed with them, and they really, I don't know, they just really were like seemed like they were promising us stuff that the others weren't, and so it made us feel really good that they were really behind us, because they were willing to step out, and promise stuff. And so it's really been good, and we look forward to the relationship with them.
Awesome. I had a chance to actually have the privilege to review the album and check it out, and I heard the Chemicals EP when that was released, and this album is insane. It's just awesome. Everything I could have expected and more. What does the album, I guess, overall, what would you say about the album as a summary and the message of it?
Dude, thanks for that compliment. It means a lot, man. We worked really hard, and the message of it, I don't know if there's like one message. It's just like each song has one of its own, like its own character, and so I just think as a whole that it's good quality songs. That's what we focused on, just good quality songs, and songs with like more melody than I've ever been a part of. I wanted to use more melody, and so it really came together nice, man. And I'm just it's exactly where I want to be in my musical life right now. So
that's awesome. And one thing I love about it is there's a lot of Christian music out there that is really, it's, I don't want to say sugarcoated, but it's very positive, and just, this album, it's positive but dark almost at the same time. It gives you that feeling of, things are bad, but they're going to get better, but it really, it takes it to another level. Can you talk a little bit about just writing some of the songs and just the experience of doing the album all together?
Yeah, man, you know what? I feel like my gift is talking about and putting into music, like walking through struggles in life, and getting through them, because I always get through them. But like I've battled depression. I've battled like just setbacks in life, so many setbacks, especially in the last 7 years too, even when I left KoRn, like a lot of just things coming against me. And so I love to sing about that, and it does have that dark vibe to it because, dude, life isn't about, lollipops and puppies and roses, it's about like, it's like, to me, it's like 50% just rainy days, like struggles, and 50% just awesome roller coaster ride fun. So I just, to me, like, to get to a good place in life, you have to go through a struggle. So I like to tackle that subject of the struggle part. So yeah, just writing the lyrics, it was really focusing on that aspect, and from everything from, just being stuck and wanting to give up to like losing friends. I lost a couple good friends, old friends, last summer, to writing about that. And just one of my expertise is like battling some overly religious people. I wrote about that song and just stuff like that, man. And that's really the theme of the album, just struggles and getting through them.
Yeah, I think one thing that you talk a lot about, that I think really a lot more people, and especially bands, need to talk about, is a lot of people have this misconception that being a Christian and the Christian walk is just awesome and great, but it's hard. It's harder than a lot of people think it is. And I think it's great that you talk about that, but you also give that message of hope that it does get better. And then there's this overly religious people, but, that's not all there is. There's good stuff, too.
Yeah, dude. The Christian life is you giving up your life. That's what it is. Tell me what is not hard about that. You're giving up your life of what you want to do, and it's like, not totally, I'm doing music, but it's for a different purpose. It wasn't, before it was just for me, and it was like, travel the world, make money, girls, get high, get drunk, all that. Now, I gave it up. I just gave it away, and that's hard. It's for anybody to give their life up. It's hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really hard. You had some, at least one guest appearance on this album. One of my favorite people is Maddie from For Today, and the song "I Wait for You" is amazing, and I really think the way you guys, the chemistry you had shows, and it just works so well. How did that come about, and what was it like to work with a guy like Maddie?
Oh man, that guy is so passionate about what he does. I was like, it's funny, I was at my parents' house in the summer, I believe, and I was trying to come up with lyrics because we had these new songs, and so I had that song, and I was like, oh yeah, and I was like, oh cool, that's gonna be like a heavy part I could sing, and I laid it down, and then I went in the house and I got a text message, and it was Maddie, and he's like, hey bro, I just want to add this in there. If you ever want to do some guest spots on your album, let me know. And I was like, it's funny you text me that right now. I just came up with this crazy heavy part. It'd be perfect for you. And I ended up sending him my idea like 2 days later, and he recorded it about a month or two after that, as he was doing what's the new album, For Today's new album?
Immortal, I think.
Yeah, he recorded my vocals while he was in the studio doing Immortal.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got the same vibe as what he put on his album, so it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had a chance to actually sit down with Maddie when he was on Warped Tour last year, and just one of the most passionate, just amazingly just humble and just great guys you'll ever meet. It's just talking to him one-on-one, you wouldn't think that he would be in a band like For Today, because he's so nice, but he's just amazing.
He loves God like with everything in him, and he wants to know and experience God with everything in him, and so that comes across. Like when people are like that, they're filled with love, and that's why he's so nice. It's all because of God, and God is love.
Mm-hmm. I just loved how he, at Warped Tour, he was on stage and just preaching the gospel from stage. It was it was awesome. It was refreshing to see something like that going on. It was so cool, and I love that. And also, I noticed. Did you redo the Whip It cover from Devo? Because it sounds different than it did on the EP.
Oh yeah, totally. We redid it. We tried some different stuff just to make it. You know, we were going to do that with all the songs. We're going to remix them and stuff like that. But we didn't have time for Chemicals and Paralyzed. But we redid Whip It, and we used some of the same tracks. You know, but like. We just tried to mix it up a little, and then we had Ben Gross mix that song too.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds awesome. Just the album as a whole almost has I almost want to say an industrial metal feel to it. It just has that electronic industrial sound throughout a lot of it. It's awesome, and it really took me off guard too. It was really cool.
That's Jason Rao, dude, the producer. He's like he's everything. He's like a great engineer, but he produced the record, obviously, and so he's an incredible programmer too, and he programmed all that stuff, and he just has every sound that you could think of, and he can hear frequencies, and he knows what would fit well and everything. It's just he is my secret weapon.
He's worked with like everybody. Disciple, was in Red and has worked with them, Family Force, but everybody. It's cool. I love it.
Yeah, I guess he's not that much of a secret now that I think about it. But he's my weapon.
Special weapon right there.
Special weapon, there we go.
Talk a little bit about the tour that's coming up with 1,000 Foot Krutch, Letter Black, who you're very familiar with. I actually saw you guys on your Over the Head tour back in 2011, I think, with the Letter Black and the Wedding. It's I'm really looking forward to that tour, but I wish you were coming to the Indianapolis area.
That's 1,000 Foot Krutch's fault. So please feel free to hit him up with all angry emails.
I wouldn't do that to 1,000 Foot Krutch.
Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, we're really looking forward to it. We've only played like 1 or 2 shows with 1,000 Foot Krutch, and I've got to know Trevor a little bit. We went and got pizza after last show, and so we're all they're just great guys, you know, and we're looking forward to opening up for them. They've been around a long time, and
yeah.
You wouldn't know it. They still look so young and everything, but they've been around a long time, so we're stoked that they let us open for them on this run.
Yeah, this is it's a big tour, it looks like. A lot of great bands, and it's really hyped. And to be on a tour with a band that's been around as long as 1,000 Foot Krutch with a huge fan base, how important would you say it is to go on tour in an atmosphere like that right after the album's released?
I think it's really important. I think it's set up perfect, and it gives us a chance to get in front of people. Because our band is our band name is very new, and it hasn't spread around. It hasn't had time to spread around, and hopefully this will help spread it around more. And I think we got a great energetic live show, and so it just worked out great. You know how those things fall into place because it's meant to be. And this whole year, I'm hoping that's going to work like that, because there's been a lot of things that have been coming against us and falling out of place. So, but there's a time for that to strengthen you and to keep you going, to fighting. And then there's a time when just blessings fall in your lap, and I'm thinking this year is that.
Yeah, it's almost like sometimes we need those tribulations, those hard times to happen, so that we appreciate the better things more when they finally do happen. And I think it's really
totally.
It's important that we stay strong through the harder stuff, so that when the better things come, we don't take them for granted. So
totally, and I totally 100% agree. And sometimes that's just good. It's good for your character. It's good to strengthen you in your inside. That it's like you're struck down, but not abandoned. You just get back up and you just keep going. And then once you get that strength that is needed for you to be where you're in a place where you can go forward, then it's time. It's all about timing. Mm-hmm. And my time seemed to be like, 5 years of just like struggle with some blessings in it, but a lot of struggle. So, but this year, I really think it's going to take off.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. Amazing album, big tour coming up. You have any plans for have you looked for anything after the 1,000-foot Krutch tour and maybe beyond that for the rest of the year? What's the rest of the year look like for you and for the band?
We're setting up shows right now. We're booking a lot of, some summer festivals and stuff, and I'm actually doing a few shows with my old band KoRn, because they asked me to do a couple shows with them, and we talked about it, and we agreed on certain terms, because I'm a different person, they're all different people, and so we agreed on terms, and so I'm going to do a little bit of that, but hopefully we're setting up hopefully a spring tour with Love and Death, and a fall tour with Love and Death, and just go,
Nice, yeah. I saw the announcement about the KoRn shows, and it's not the first time you've played a show with them. You back last year in May at Carolina Rebellion. That was, an amazing thing to see that relationship mended, and just even if it's just for one song, just like it was really cool to see.
Yeah, it's totally like. It's totally reconciliation, and that's a big part of life. And even with fans, like me playing these shows, it's reconciling with my old people, my people that I was with for so many. I grew up with these guys, and those fans I'd spent my life touring and going to their cities and playing for them, and just to come back is to show my love for them, and it's like. It's all about a timing thing, because 2 years ago I would have said, "Nah, that's never going to happen." Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, but as hearts change and as circumstances change through life, it's like, wow, this needs to happen.
Yeah, it's cool to see. Something that I personally, because I was a fan of KoRn, and also Love and Death, and before Love and Death was just. Your self-titled band, Brian Head Welch. It's something that a lot of people wanted to see for a while, but it's just something that the timing had to be right, it looks like. It's not something you could rush into.
Exactly. And actually there's a couple times where I could have, went back and stuff like that, but it wasn't the right time. I even made some effort in that direction when they asked me to, and I stepped that way, and it was like an invisible door of circumstances just crushed all over me, and I was like, nope, there's no way that's possible. And that was, I took that to mean it'll never happen because of that thing that happened a couple of years ago, but then, and then it seemed like all these invisible doors of circumstances opened up just last year, and I was like, wow, okay, it was a timing thing. That's why it didn't happen 2 years ago. So, yeah.
Can you, just really quickly, can you just tell me a little bit about what was going through your mind in Carolina last year while you're backstage waiting to take the stage from all those people? What was going through your mind?
Everything. Every emotion you could feel. Like, total excitement and fun. Fear, anxiety, just love, just everything, man. Because you gotta understand, everybody was gathered around the stage because the word had gotten out, and it was such a crazy breakup that just seeing everybody from all the Five Finger Death Punch guys, Evanescence, the whole band was there. Stained. Just all these huge bands that I used to tour with, just to see this reconciliation and reunion, it was really emotional. So if I had to pick one word, I would say emotional.
It was emotional for myself, even watching the footage of it. It was just like, wow, this is something that probably nobody thought would ever happen. And
Dude,
So,
and that's exactly what you said right now. That's what happened online too. Like so many people that you know, not everybody cares, but like a lot of the people that did care about KoRn, you know, were like, I gotten so many messages, direct and indirect messages, that people were just in tears, like watching this, saying, "Wow, this is really special."
mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know, so,
I think it was that just when you and Jonathan just, you know, embraced on stage. I think that's what finally did it right there. It was just like, you know, it's not just a band, it's brothers, and, you know, everything's cool again.
Totally. Yeah, it's great stuff.
Yeah. So, you know, maybe we'll see you on some summer festivals this summer. Hopefully I'm dying to catch you live again. It seems like every time you come around here, something happens, and I'm not able to do it. This last time, I had to go back home and see some family, like the night that you were out here, and hopefully soon I can catch you guys. I can't wait to see this stuff live. It's awesome.
Yeah, dude, try, man, and come out and say hi, and we'll talk and hang out and stuff. So get a hold of Doug or whatever.
Definitely.
And make it happen.
Absolutely. I appreciate it's always great sitting down with you, and it's always an honor sitting down and talking to you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your night.
Dude, thank you. And I always say, like, man, we can't do this stuff. You know how rock music is suffering lately nowadays?
Yeah.
It's like, without you guys, we couldn't do what we do. So thank you, and I'll talk to you soon, hopefully.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks a lot.
All right, brother. See ya.
See ya.